Are you truly alive, or just existing? The modern world promises endless joy through money, fame, and power. Yet, for so many of us, it delivers something far different. A gnawing emptiness, suffocating anxiety, ceaseless suffering, and profound loneliness. What if the path to true fulfillment lies not out there, but in a journey within, a journey into the deepest, most sacred part of yourself? Carl Jung didn't just observe this contemporary malaise. He diagnosed it. He saw clearly how our relentless pursuit of materialistic gains, the shimmering illusions of wealth, fleeting pleasure, public acclaim, and brute power, failed spectacularly to deliver genuine happiness. Instead, he warned, this relentless outer focus was fueling an escalating crisis of meaninglessness, spiking anxiety levels, deepening our suffering, and isolating us from both others and, crucially, ourselves. Jung's life work was a clarion call, a passionate plea to redirect our gaze. He urged us to return to the profound, often neglected, search for our soul, to rekindle that vital, innermost connection with our truest self, the sacred sanctuary residing deep within each of us. Life, as Jung eloquently described it, is not merely a series of events to be endured, but a magnificent, unfolding odyssey of self-discovery. It is the quest to unearth our complete and authentic personality, a complex tapestry woven from the threads of both our conscious awareness and the vast, mysterious depths of our unconscious life. This profound expedition, this journey of psychological maturation, is what Jung termed the individuation process. Imagine it as an indestructible foundational bedrock, a steadfast rock amidst a furious, crashing ocean. When the waves of life's challenges threaten to engulf us, when we feel utterly incapable of supporting ourselves, this inner anchor holds us firm, unmoved by the raging tempests of emotional fluctuations and external chaos. To establish genuine contact with this deeper, unwavering part of ourselves is to enter a state of profound tranquility, an inner peace that remains serenely undisturbed by even the most tumultuous emotional storms. Jung's ultimate declaration was not for us to strive for an unattainable perfection, but rather to embrace the messy, magnificent reality of wholeness. For Jung, this grand individuation journey unfolds in two pivotal stages across the human lifespan. The first half of life is, quite naturally, oriented predominantly towards the external world. This is our time for outward construction, forging a career, pursuing education, building relationships, navigating social structures, and establishing our place in the world. Jung believed we must bravely throw ourselves into the fire of life, exposing ourselves fully to the crucible of daily existence, embracing hard work and practical realities. This engagement solidifies our nascent personality, grounding us in the tangible. He saw natural life, our physical connection to the earth, as the nourishing soil, for the soul, a rich, primal source of restorative nutrients that profoundly heal us. This is precisely why a deep, tangible connection with nature is not merely a pleasant pastime, but an essential component of our psychological well-being. We must resist the temptation to become entirely lost in abstract intellectualism, detaching ourselves to the detriment of practical, lived experience. It is through our physical body, our fundamental feelings, and our raw instincts that we maintain our essential connection to this nourishing, grounding soil. Even in his own advanced age, Jung fiercely championed this grounded way of life. He once penned, with remarkable simplicity, "I have done without electricity and tend the fireplace and stove myself. Evenings I light the old lamps. There's no running water and I pump the water from the well. I chop the wood and cook the food. These simple acts make me feel like a simple man." And how difficult it is to be simple. This deliberate, humble anchoring in physical reality, he stressed, is not just valuable in itself, but an absolute prerequisite, a vital preparation for the second half of life. In this latter, more profound phase, our central focus deliberately shifts. It turns inward, away from external achievements and towards the rich, boundless landscape of our inner world, our intense, deeply personal quest for individuation. This is the realm Jung concerned himself with most profoundly, the boundless domain of the unconscious. He understood that the world of our inner life is every bit as infinite, as complex, and as awe-inspiring as the vast, observable universe of the outer world. Indeed, humanity lives simultaneously in two worlds. Tragically, many individuals neglect this crucial inner dimension, choosing to remain, in Jung's poignant words, only half alive. They are utterly unprepared for the natural, inevitable transition into the second half of life, often stumbling into debilitating midlife crises, because they have failed to learn the crucial art of harmonizing and integrating both these worlds. When we are finally confronted by life's truly crushing, inescapable problems, the ones that money, fame, or power cannot solve, we desperately begin to search for our soul. In these moments of raw vulnerability, we realize with startling clarity that the superficial values and societal expectations we so eagerly absorbed provide absolutely no solace, no genuine help. Jung warned that conformity is the ultimate destroyer of selfhood, the antithesis of true courage. In our society, he famously stated, "The opposite of courage is not cowardice. It is conformity." We are constantly, subtly, and powerfully persuaded to take the seemingly easier, less demanding road of merging with the crowd, of allowing ourselves to be assimilated, to conveniently forget our unique self. Yet, it demands immense, quiet courage to stand authentically against the prevailing current of popular opinion, to carve out your own distinct path. A person can be physically surrounded by countless others, experiencing the clamor and press of a crowd, and yet feel utterly, profoundly alone, precisely because they are alienated from their own inner self. The search for the soul, by its very nature, is a solitary, deeply personal task. And when we attempt to avoid this inner work, the soul does not simply disappear. It persistently stirs. It disturbs us, makes us restive, and denies us true peace. However, these very disturbances, these inner problems, are not mere annoyances. They are crucially important. They serve as powerful incentives, as irresistible catalysts, compelling us to undertake the essential soul work we need. Without life's inherent trials and tribulations, without the sharp edges of suffering, we are unlikely to summon the fierce determination required to overcome the comfortable indifference of daily life. Jung observed a profound human paradox. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. They might dive into addictions, endless distractions, or external drama, anything to postpone the inevitable confrontation with their inner truth. He echoed ancient wisdom, reminding us that the gate that leads to destruction is broad, and many enter through it. But the gateway to peace is narrow, and only enter through the affliction of the soul. It is an act of profound wisdom to diligently nourish your soul, for neglecting it invites a dangerous inner landscape, one where you risk breeding dragons and devils in your heart. Every genuine psychic advance, every step forward in human consciousness, Jung asserted, arises directly from the profound suffering of the soul. Embrace your grief, your sorrow, your challenges, for it is precisely there that your soul will grow, expand, and flourish. Like the primitive, indigenous tribal cultures he studied, Jung recognized that the loss of connection to one's soul inevitably leads to a pervasive sense of meaninglessness in life. He cited stark examples. When entire tribes lose the deeply held feeling that their way of life is worthwhile, they may cease reproducing or, tragically, in large numbers, simply lie down and quietly die, even amidst streams teeming with fish and abundant food. For Jung, mere sustenance, food is not the primary nourishment of man. In stark contrast to our current banana life, a life of superficial, readily available comforts that lack true substance, Jung implored us to embark upon a grand adventure of self-knowledge. This magnificent journey begins with the brave, honest investigation of one's own inner world, the vast, unexplored realm of the unconscious. For Jung, this is the true purpose and the ultimate journey of life itself. Without the soul, the body is inert, a mere husk. And without the body, the soul remains abstract, unrealized. The soul is not just a concept. It is the very home of our supreme, most cherished values. Dreams, Jung taught, are not random mental noise. They are the guiding words, the profound messages from the soul itself. We must treat them with reverence, carry them in our hearts, and thoughtfully revisit them in our minds, just as we would cherish and ponder the words of the person dearest to us. The dream, Jung beautifully articulated, is a little hidden door in the innermost and most secret recesses of the soul, opening into that cosmic night which was psyche long before there was any ego consciousness. Beyond the realm of dreams, Jung developed a powerful, transformative technique he called active imagination. This isn't passive daydreaming. It's a dynamic, conscious dialogue with the different archetypal parts of yourself that reside within the unconscious. It's strikingly similar to dreaming, yet with one crucial difference. You remain fully awake and conscious throughout the entire experience. Jung himself stumbled upon this technique during what he termed his confrontation with the unconscious, a harrowing, midlife existential catastrophe, an intensely personal, dark night of the soul. He was utterly overwhelmed by a deluge of visions, plunged into unknown, terrifying depths. It was as if he underwent a psychological death, and in that profound crisis, he made a life-altering choice. He concluded that outer death was preferable to inner death. For this reason, he deliberately turned away from the external world and consciously sought the profound, healing embrace of the inner life, thus beginning his monumental search for his soul. This heroic internal journey ultimately led to one of his greatest contributions to mankind, the legendary Red Book. In the pages of that sacred text, Jung wrote, my soul, where are you? Do you hear me? I speak. I call you, are you there? I have returned. I am here again. I have shaken the dust of all the land from my feet, and I have come to you. I am with you after long years of long wandering. I have come to you again. These are not merely words. They are an invocation, a desperate call to reunion. Jung insisted, there is only one way to the soul, and that is your way. There is only one salvation, and that is your salvation. If the path before you is clear, you're probably on someone else's. Each individual, he stressed, must bravely forge their own unique way. Therefore, look into yourself, for you must fulfill the way that is in you. When we establish this profound contact with our inner self, we become far more attuned to life's subtle whispers, more likely to experience synchronicities, those meaningful, often uncanny patterns in life where our inner psychological state finds a mysterious correspondence in external reality. The very first step on this path of individuation is the brave integration of the shadow. This isn't some monstrous enemy to be vanquished. It is, in truth, a powerful ally, a repository of pure gold, untapped potential, unacknowledged strengths, patiently waiting to be integrated into our conscious personality. It only appears dark and menacing when it is ignored, repressed, or projected onto others. We must diligently learn to observe our own emotional impulses, to become acutely aware of when we are projecting our unresolved problems, our inner demons, onto innocent people around us. It is only after this courageous encounter with the shadow that we can then progress to the deeper, more subtle layers of the soul, which Jung called the anima, the feminine psychological tendencies within a man, and the animus, the masculine psychological tendencies within a woman. These are the powerful, contrasexual soul images dwelling within our individual psyche. While the integration of the shadow is the apprentice piece, a foundational skill, the integration of these soul images is truly the masterpiece of individuation. The integration of the anima, for a man, is achieved by consciously taking seriously the feelings, moods, and often unbidden fantasies arising from the unconscious, and then bringing them into tangible reality through creative expression, whether through painting, writing, sculpture, or musical composition. The anima is the very source of vitality, of life itself. When it remains unintegrated, we often feel lifeless, dull, and profoundly depressed. Its integration enriches our existence by consciously bringing forth these unconscious contents, infusing our lives with depth and color. The animus, on the other hand, for a woman, is the source of meaning. It imbues unconscious content with structure and purpose in the outer world. A woman who successfully integrates her animus is endowed with qualities of initiative, courage, objectivity, and a deep spiritual wisdom, avoiding the pitfalls of cold, destructive intellectualization, or rigid, hidden convictions about how life ought to be, which can trap her in a cocoon of dreamy thoughts, severing her from the vibrant reality of life. The successful integration of these soul images then clears the path to the most fundamental and profound figure of all, the self. True wholeness, Jung asserted, can only be achieved through a sacred union of opposites, a profound reconciliation where our conscious light side and our unconscious dark side are acknowledged, embraced, and united. Jung's entire individuation process is strikingly analogous to the great work of the ancient alchemists, where the elusive philosopher's stone is a powerful symbol of the self, that transcendent, divine core discovered within oneself. For Jung, the true task of alchemy was profoundly psychological. It was the sacred art of expanding consciousness, of achieving genuine self-realization. When we feel utterly lost, when we no longer know what to do with our lives, our only recourse is to surrender to the higher, innate wisdom of the self, our constant, guiding inner companion throughout life. Jung never saw himself as a healer in the traditional sense, but rather as a guide, someone who could empower individuals to embark on their own journey of self-healing. The true cure, he believed, must grow naturally out of the wounded individual. This courageous search for our authentic self not only transforms us individually but also fosters profound empathy, mutual understanding, and a genuine desire to become an ally in other people's unique journeys towards psychological maturation. Thus, by tending to our soul, we profoundly improve our relationship with ourselves, with others, and with the natural world around us. Ultimately, life is not a problem to be intellectually solved, but a rich, unfolding mystery to be fully experienced. We do not require any arcane, esoteric knowledge to establish contact with ourself. Anyone, at any time, can choose to pause, to look deeply within, to reflect on life's deeper meanings, to consciously allocate time and attention to the values, interests, and activities that genuinely bring joy and profound fulfillment to their personal life. As Jung famously concluded, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes." If this deep dive into Jung's profound wisdom has resonated with you, if it stirred a curiosity about the journey within, then I warmly invite you to explore my channel, Psych Solace. There, I delve even further into these transformative concepts, explaining them in greater depth and practical application. Thank you for watching, and may your journey inward be truly awakening.